G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and this is David from Bonsaiworx. Bonsaiworx is WRX spelled. I now have an Instagram account at #bonsaiworx if you want to follow me on that. I'll usually post updates and photos on that and let you know when there's new videos up as well. But today we're going to have a look at this Shimpaku juniper. If you've been following my channel for a while, you would have seen this tree last year featured quite a bit in my channel. You probably remember this pot that it's in. It's just a grow pot that it's in. But what I want to show you is signs that this tree needs something to happen. Now, what I mean by that is last year I put an air layer on this in summer to test out the theory of whether air layers will work in summer. Now, I had one failure, which I was probably in a previous video I just probably showed. I was Shimpaku where I took an air layer and it didn't work, and I was able to gin that section. Now, this tree, I put an air layer on, and I put it on there. You can see, you probably can just see the bag there. And now, that air layer is there's some nice branches here, it's a nice tree. This is actually a very, very nice Shimpaku. It's going to be a really cool tree that I'm gonna contort and squish down quite heavily. Now, the foliage on this side is really healthy, really strong, very green and very lush. Now, there's signs now that this air layer needs to come off, because whilst the tips on this side of the tree are growing, it's actually starting to yellow on the inside of the foliage, meaning what I think obviously it's not healthy, and the roots that are forming in here, which there are not getting the nutrients it needs. So it's time for this to come off. Hope that kind of makes sense. So it's starting to yellow, like you can probably just see the yellowing on the inside. That's all going to die off, unfortunately. So it's time for this layer to come off. So let's have a look at it together. Now I will try and show you as much as I can without hindering everything. I'm going to try and look at it myself. I don't know if I can bring that camera in a bit closer. Let's have a look. Now I can definitely see there's roots everywhere, so that's great. And I'll kind of just show you that close up in a minute. Let me just take these off because we don't need this. I'll come back. I'll take this off and I'll show you close up in a minute. It's just the wire I'm taking off that's holding the plastic bag together. Yeah, there's good rootage. I can see and they're starting to go white, so they're nice and growing quite well. So that's a good sign. It's almost there. Now, I'm going to try and bring this camera in a bit. Probably show you that like that. There we go. I'm not sure if you can see much, but the ball's in there. Now, if I lift it up, you can probably see the roots in there, but I'll give you a better look soon. So what I want to try and do is cut away that trunk. So you're probably going to be hard for you to see. I'm just going to use a saw, a nice little hand saw like that, and I'm going to cut this off. Now you're probably a bit blocked off and you can't really see, but just bear with me while I do this. I want to show you everything what I'm doing, so because this is what you would normally do. I'll try and move the parent away for a sec. Oh. Let's focus on this guy. I'll come in and show. Look at that. That's why this part of the tree is not looking too healthy. You know, it's starting to yellow because there's all this rootage in there, but it's not getting the root nutrients it needs. Let's have a play around. Just let me show you that once more. So let's get rid of this. Glad I had a good look at my trees today because it's been a busy week. So again, look at that. Really healthy, strong. That's lots of roots. I'm just going to try and take out the hardwood that we air-laid. So usually I just come in with my clobbers, my knob cutters, branch cutters, and I'll just take that out. Try and be gentle. There we go. Probably sort of flying off. All right, so that is it. That's pretty much it now. Look at the tree we're going to create. I'm going to be very careful here. I don't want to move around too much, but it's going to be a nice little tree. It's quite a nice sized trunk. Yeah, so I wasn't prepared for this. I'm going to have to go get a pot and put it in, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, so I'm just pretty much keeping it very simple. Just going to plant it in, not even touching the sphagnum moss. I just don't touch it at all. I'm just using my recycled mix from previous 3 pots. Very simple, guys. It's just fill it up, make sure the soil's nice and pushed in. And pretty much I don't touch this for 6 months to a year. Probably next season I'll have a look at it. I just want this whole pot to be full of roots. So I'm just going to water this in, and pretty much that's it. But it is it's going to be probably a really good little tree in the future. It's got some interesting, that's a really interesting trunk there. What we'll probably do is put some bends and twists in it, you know, just like what you've seen in my previous videos about a month ago with that, where I started to twist up some of my airlays from last year. So you saw the success, even though I did that in summer, it succeeded. However, I just don't think it's the optimal time to do airlays in summer for Shimpaku. It was a test, it was an experiment, and it worked, but not the best. It's not like the best result possible. If you want to achieve the best results in Shimpaku airlays, you do them in early spring, late winter, early spring, and you have much like stronger success. That's how I think of it. But this took from summer last year till now, which is summer last year. I probably took it in December, January, I think, and now it's mid-October now here in Melbourne. So you know, it took its time for me to just separate it. So if I did this in August, late August, I'll be separating it in November. You know, something like that. So it's very different in the time frame. And now you can see the tree weakened a bit with the yellowing. So it was a sign for me to cut this off. So there's a nice little air layer. You know, I mean, that's a possible another little air layer in the future. This one off, and just keep this tree and twist it all up. So you see the potential that air layers do. So it's pretty good. I'm just going to put that there. Do this. Now this is the beauty we've got here to work with, and this should start to have some sort of. I was really going to wait till Bjorn gets here next year to work on this tree with him, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. We'll have to. Hopefully the restrictions get lifted, and we can fly him here from the US. Let's hope so, because you know we've all been waiting for him to come here. He was supposed to come in 2020, but unfortunately, all the lockdowns and restrictions in flights and the COVID, you know, what can you do? We lost that opportunity, but never say never. So he's flagged to come in again in 2021. So we'll have a look. You can see the nice movement in this tree. It's a chance for you to have a look now again at what this tree looks like. It has a lot of potential. It's got a beautiful, lots of movement, but it's all up here, the foliage. Now we need to figure out how to get it all down and twist it and contort it, and what is the best tree, what's the best vision for this tree. Now I did have a few ideas from memory, and I'm gonna have to revisit the videos, but I was gonna bring the tree quite forward. What that means is then all the foliage is kind of sitting back against the top, because if I have it like this, you can see the foliage is all at the back. If something like that was the front, all the foliage is at the back. You can see that, it's all at the back. So we've got to bring it forward, and then the foliage sits on top of it. But, you know, when we cut, so the beauty is we took that front bit out, and now it opens up the tree. What does the tree look like now? There's this bit, we've got to gin off. There's this branch, I don't think that's going to be, this branch is pretty ugly. You can see it's straight. You know, I'm probably definitely going to get rid of this branch, but I'm using it as an anchor now at the moment to pull down this higher branch. So I'm going to have a look at this tree again. It's got my interest again. It's a great tree, but I might have to come up with a design myself for it, and not wait for Bjorn. I'd love to, but we'll have to wait and see. I've noticed lots of caterpillars must have enjoyed being in here because, or moths or something, because there's a lot of little cocoons in here. So it must be moths got in there and just put some, yeah. Anyway, I just want to show you this and the success of an air layer. Even though it was taken in summer, it did work. Yeah, but this I'm pretty happy with this tree. It's gonna be something cool. You know, I could even start to gin that, but there's no rush really. Yeah. So it has you can see it has a lot of potential. So you can build a tree with that branch. You can build a tree with this big branch in here. Bend it down. What do we do with this? Do we bring all these down? Pretty much all these branches are still flexible enough to wire. So do we air lay them all? So I'm going to probably have to do another video where I have a study this tree. I'm going to probably study this tree and think about what I'm going to do with it, and then I'll come back and we'll work through it. I think that's what I'm planning to do with this tree. It's too good to let it go any longer, and I want to start to create a nice tree from it. So stay tuned for a video on this tree once I studied it. Make sure you study your trees. Make sure you look at them, try and figure out every angle, move them around, different angles and so on. Get opinions. Sometimes it's good to get an opinion on a tree and you come up with the result. So anyway guys, hope you enjoyed that video and my another little air layer success. I'm just going to water that in, and hopefully in 6 months to a year's time I'll show you guys this again and see how it's going. So alright guys, that's it for me. Stay tuned for more videos and thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.